be all sorts of trouble. So I tried it a couple times. I say, yeah, well, I'm just in here deleting stuff. It's just like,
You haven't been out of your seat all day, have you?
All right, is there a motion? We go back into session, please. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you. The next item on the agreement is the AIA agreement for Joseph and Joseph and Review Architects for the room addition and the kitchen expansion at the John Black Center. Magistrate Likens.
Thank you, Judge. This is what we have discussed now for several times at Fiscal Court. It's for the Phase 1 addition to the John Black Civic Center. The architectural firm is Joseph and Joseph and Bravura. The hard dollar cost for designing this project is $44,800. We have met as a committee and would like to make this in form of a motion that we enter into a contract with Joseph and Joseph Bravura for the design of Phase 1 at the John Black Civic Center.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion on this? Magistrate Dye.
I read through it, and I have to say, whoever designed those contracts do a pretty good job of confusing the issue. I was unable to find, what is the cost of, when they bring us the construction documents, right?
Yes, this is full construction.
What does it cost to send them back and change, and what is our change cost?
Should be a living document where you change it as you go. You shouldn't.
At no additional
wait till
charge?
you shouldn't wait till you're finished and then send it back to them. So we will have periodic meetings with them, making sure it's designed the way we want it.
In other words, a change order would occur when it's a finished document, but then something comes along down the road.
Yes.
But now, an unforeseen thing might be different, but changing just to be changing will be a charge involved, correct?
There would be, but you should be involved enough in the process to make sure that there aren't any of those at the end of the project.
Okay, now, you referred to this as Phase 1, I didn't realize that, but I know there's some other stuff we want to look at. This will be all-inclusive for this one project. This project is not dependent to do a second project.
Exactly, sir. We have just calling this Phase 1, as I call it, Phase 1. Phase 2 was the addition to the atrium and the meeting room, which we have, we're not doing.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Magistrate Hounds.
Magistrate Dye, I go back to the comment we were in our building committee meeting under, it's page 2 on the iPad, and it says a new 1,200 square foot, and I won't read the rest of it, but that's the proposed project that we're talking about. It's the same project we've talked about in the past, and that's the scope right there.
Any further discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. All right, the next item here is a personnel item for animal control. We have a new hire. We have Ms. Schaaf.
We have Adrian Hughes, where we would like to hire him as an animal control officer. He has a background at Louisville Correctional Facility and a security company. So I'm very interested in this position. And the rate is $15 an hour, and a start date would be the 12th of October.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Yes, sir. Question there? We have a question?
I can ask it after the vote.
okay.
Okay. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
My question was, is this an additional animal control officer to what we already have, or is this replacing somebody? Because I don't remember somebody being released.
We had a part-time position that we had approved for full-time this fiscal year, and we haven't filled it yet. We've been interviewing. So the part-time person left, I don't know when. I want to say earlier this year. I can't remember the date.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Now I have some board appointments I'd like to recommend. First person I'd like to recommend would be a reappointment to the Ambulance Taxing District for a term to expire on October 16th, 2022. That would be Steve Turover.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All right, moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carried. Next one is reappointment to the Ethics Commission for Ann Brown to October 18th, 2023. I think we all know Ann, and I'm very pleased to say that during Ann's term, we've had really, not for quite a while, maybe 8 years, we haven't had an ethics complaint here, but we do still maintain a board. And so, is there a motion to accept Ann?
I'll
moved.
make the motion.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And then now we have two appointments to the library board, two trustee positions. First one, I'd like to reappoint Lonnie Harden. We know Lonnie, and he's been on the board for the last 4 years, done an excellent job, and I'm sure he'll continue to do so.
Move.
Second.
Second, all right. Did somebody second that? All right. Any discussion on that?
I do have a question, Judge.
Sure.
I just noticed that his address is Newcastle, Kentucky, but don't guess that prohibits him from being on our library board, does it?
No, well, he, is minister of a church here in.
Is that what he
town.
gave as the address? Well, he has a church in Ballardsville. Or at least he did have, anyway.
So I'm not exactly sure.
Okay.
Yeah, but, that doesn't prohibit him from being on the board, so. He's involved in Oldham County.
Oh, yes.
Any further discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Next one here is, wait a minute, I had one more in here. Is that
Vaughn.
in? Where is that? Pardon?
Gallagher.
What happened to that one? Okay, huh? All right. And I'd like to make a new appointment to the library board. This is Savan Gallagher, and lives over in Prospect, and this would be for a term to expire October 1st, 2024. Savan and her husband have an internet Amazon service that they sell different things on through Amazon, and I think she's, quite a skilled person, has a degree in English literature and from Manual College in Boston, and I feel she'll be a strong addition to the library.
I'd like to make that motion, Judge.
Thank you. And a second,
Second.
in discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
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 Motion carries. Thank you. Now we're back to our second public comment. We still have Gary Parsons here, and happy to have you back up. We've lost most of our fiscal court attendees here, but there's several people left, so.
Thank you, Judge. I just wanted to talk about one of our exciting events we have coming up. It's our Spooktacular Festival. We've changed it this year so that we can actually have it with the new governor's requirements. It's now going to be a drive-through trick-or-treating event. All the children will stay in the cars, and drive-through will have different stations they can pull up to, get candy, and drive on out and go home and eat that candy. We're also going to add into it a decorate their cars. Everybody can decorate their cars, and we will take pictures of them, post them on Facebook. People can judge them, and the winner will win a $100 gift card from Gustavo's. The event is from 4 to 5 p.m. on October 18th. It'll be in our lower parking lot at Windham Park.
What time?
4 to 5 p.m.
I'd like to ask, if I participate in this as one of the people giving out the candy, about how many children should I guesstimate?
I always guesstimate between 200 and 250. We have purchased bags from the Parks Department will have our logo on it. I've purchased 500, but I will use those in a couple of years, but I don't know what we'll get. Our typical spooktacular event will get 200, 250 kids.
And that brings up the entire issue of Halloween. People have asked me, are we gonna have Halloween? Are we not gonna have Halloween? We're gonna have Halloween, but with recommended, underline the word recommended, safety features, and those safety features can be found on our website. They can be found on the Health Department website. I think they'll be pretty freely available across the county between now and the end of the month. Halloween was always an exciting time for all of us growing up. We love to get out and do it. We hate to see the kids not have it or have the event ruined by circumstances, but we have to deal with what we have to deal with. And coming by in cars, having your masks, social distancing, not accepting anything that's not a manufactured wrapped piece of candy don't do that. So there's different rules that have come out from the state health department to try to keep the holiday. It wasn't even a holiday, it used to just be a day. It was an afternoon after school that you got your, would you get your pillowcase and had it out, So, see how many houses you could get to before you had to go home. But anyway, we're gonna try to still have it be fun.
Judge, I'd like to make a motion that we leave all the kids at home and all of us get to go out and go trick-or-treating again.
Well, that'd be it, all the big kids that still want to do it, or at least, And you remember we used to get, homemade popcorn balls and,
Yeah.
things that you wouldn't take now. It's just, I think it's sad. The kids are missing out on a lot of good times that we used to have, so. Anyway, we'll go through do you have a question for Gary?
Yep, whenever you're done.
Sure.
Did you, when you were kids, did your parents have to check your candy for needles? For some reason, my parents had to check my candy for needles when I was growing up.
I did.
There was like an incident, I think, where some,
My kids.
your kids, yeah. They're my age.
Raising needles were.
Yep. But my question is, the 5K is gonna be at 2 o'clock. Is that still on per the governor's?
Yes, we are still having our skeleton 5K,
Okay.
which begins at 2 o'clock. That is going to be done a little differently than we normally do also to keep everybody safe. Friday night will be the drive-through packet pickup where you'll get your shirt and your race number and everything. We'll actually take their temperature. If they have elevated temperature, we're going to tell them they can't race on Sunday. I know it's a couple days and it could go down, but we'll deal with that. I've looked at other races around the state and other places they're doing the same type stuff now. It'll be a rolling start. Everybody will be 6 feet apart, side to side, front to back. I'll say start, and they'll go through across the start line. When they're ready, make sure they're socially distanced from everybody, and they'll have masks on until they cross the start line. Then they can take it off. It's kind of hard to run with a mask on.
Yeah. And all of the people handing out candy at the Spooktacular event will be wearing masks.
Yes, everybody will be wearing masks under their other mask if they dress up. They'll also be wearing gloves.
Gary, how many people participate in the 5K usually?
This one usually is in the ballpark of 70,
Okay.
70 or 80. We're at 40 to date.
Okay.
Not quite where I want to be, but it's a good start.
In addition to extending Eden Parkway and linking Eden Parkway with LaGrange Parkway, when we get that built, I've already mentioned to Gary, we might be able to have a good Oldham County run out there through. We will have enough connecting streets and whatnot to probably put on a good run out in Oldham Reserve.
Great idea, good idea.
On LaGrange Parkway, so that'll be fun. All right, well, I think we're down to the point where if anybody would like to add anything to today's meeting, now's a good opportunity to do so. Magistrate Logston?
All been said, sir.
Magistrate Dye?
Make sure that you take the survey for our internet.
Magistrate Hawkins.
Want to give that web address?
I don't know it off the top of my head. Judge probably knows it.
It's oldhamfiber.servicezones.net. And I believe we're up to about 1,200 people so far. All right, so we want 10,000 more. So don't hesitate. If you have good service, please take it anyway. Don't fight us, just take the survey.
Well, I did mention at a HOA meeting, they said, well, why would we do this? I said, well, we don't know yet, but maybe it might be a competitive price.
Yeah.
Maybe get something better for less. I said, till we know what to buy, and you only have to tell us what you got.
Right. Magistrate Hawkins.
The tire collection, Becky Zoklin mentioned it earlier, but it's going to be October 29th, 30th, and 31st at the fairgrounds, which is a different location than it usually is. So I just thought that would be worth re-mentioning.
Thank you. Magistrate Hounds.
I have a couple of things. First, I got to tell you, I'm pretty impressed. I haven't seen Melissa or Kevin get up once to help everybody with their iPads. We took on a big jump today, and it's pretty cool to see everybody. We didn't skip a beat. It's at the end, and we made it. That's for those of you out in TV land. You wouldn't understand the upper battle. I have to explain it to you, but it is pretty cool. October is Fire Safety Month. Used to be that the fire departments would have open houses, and that's just not something that we can all do this year. But I do know that there's plenty of stuff online that you can get through the National Fire Protection Association, and I know some of the fire departments have stuff out on their websites if you're looking for things to do. But take a time, if you don't have smoke detectors, or I'm sorry, if you haven't checked the battery of your smoke detectors, now may be the time to do it, or take them out, throw them away, and go buy smoke detectors that are 10-year lithium-ion detectors. Write the date on the outside of the detector, put it up in the ceiling. Every time you walk past it, it'll be the reminder of how much more time that detector has. And that way you don't have to worry about it. You put one up and it's good for 10 years. Some of the magistrates attended a virtual conference this past week, and one of the topics that was brought up was about broadband and about the lack of broadband in Kentucky. So it is an initiative that not only Oldham County, but the Commonwealth is looking into, and it really is important that we do get feedback from the survey. The last thing that I have is, and Director Nart brought this up about Smart 911. One of the other jobs I have is posting stuff to the Pee Wee Valley Facebook page. Yesterday, we did have a missing person. By the time I got the alert and got ready to post it to the Facebook page, Director Nart was already sending out an alert saying that the person had been found. Due to the Smart 911 notification, someone saw the person, reported it to dispatch. If you're not signed up on Smart 911, please do it. It's very, very simple. It's very easy. You can go to the county website, oldhamcountyky.gov. Down at the bottom, there's a little link. Click on it, and you can sign up for Smart 911. It takes about 5 to 7 minutes, and then about once a year, they'll send you an email saying, do you want to update your information? So maybe some of you have seen that email, and you can update your information. But again, I'm thrilled that we're where we are today with the iPads. Thanks, everybody, for your cooperation.
All right, thank you. Magistrate Greenwell.
Thank you, Judge. First of all, thanks to our instructors on the iPads, because Chris, you and Kevin and Melissa did a great job. That's why we did so well, as our instructors. So I'm becoming more and more concerned with our bid process and our awarding of the bids, to be quite frank. And today was two prime examples. It seemed like we deviated from what we had advertised for. And I don't think that's going to get us in trouble today, but I believe if we're not careful, it will in the future. So we need to write them better, and we need to stick to them better, and get all this stuff figured out before we come up here in court and spend an hour arguing about the details. So that's my 2 cents worth.
All right, thank you. Let's see, Magistrate Tice.
I don't have anything today. Thank you.
Magistrate Likens.
Thank you, Judge. Just like to take an opportunity to bless the President of the United States and wish him a speedy recovery from his COVID-19 experience. And I hope everything goes well, which reminds me, I would like to have maybe Julie Barr at our next meeting explain to us where we vote, how we vote, what can we do, because there's a lot of confusion, seems to be with a lot of people that ask me that. So, that's all. Thank
Right. Right, I think that's an excellent idea, and we will do that, because we need to know, and it's still not too late if you want to go on votekentucky.com, I think it is. There's a website that you can find that Secretary of State has, that you can request an absentee ballot if you'd like to have it. And that absentee ballot, when you get it, you can put it in the mail. You can bring it to the clerk's office in Oldham County here, or you can also come and vote in person at the
believe the
clerk's
last-
office soon. So I don't want to say what I don't know, so I'll just say that we will have information coming out. We will have something at the next meeting.
The last date I asked for a absentee is the 9th.
9th?
Yes.
Okay, well, that's pretty close to today, isn't it?
Yeah.
What's today? 2 more days, right. I would like to also notice, we have a lot of participants on our Smart 911. We would like to encourage more people to sign up for it. You get a lot of good information, and you're notified on traffic issues and lost individuals and weather warnings and so forth. So recently, for a reason that I can't explain, when Smart 911 shows up on my telephone, it says the words potential spam come up with that call. And I'd like to give you the number that I believe we can have people put this number in their phone. You put it in there as Smart 911, and then when that phone rings, it shouldn't say potential spam. It'll say, or you can say Oldham County Fiscal Court, Smart 911. It's 310-8998. 310-8998. When you see that number on your phone, you know it's coming from our dispatch office, emergency management, whatever the message might be, but it's not spam. It's important information that we feel should be spread. But why all of a sudden our phones are saying potential spam is a mystery to me, but 310-8998. So, thank everybody for being with us today. Pardon?
I want to add one more thing to your 911. I know probably everybody here that's on 911 got the notice about a problem over in Goshen where a kid was accosting a young teenage boy. You all know the specifics. I don't want to go into it, but
I don't
that
think
was
it was a teenager. I think it was an elementary school student.
okay. But they picked up the photograph off of someone's that had one of these doorbells that got the camera in it. So there is also the program of registering. People should register their burglar alarms, and they can also register to allow the police to look at the film,
Yeah.
what? The ring, their video, I guess. I don't know if it's video. What's the right word, Chris? On those, yeah, the camera footage. So that's another thing people can do they may not be aware of, that the police can, they don't take control of your camera, but they can access that and maybe pick up some information to effect an arrest.
Right. The individuals in a white pickup truck with a short bed came and pointed what was apparently a weapon at a child, to the point where the child raised their hands. And neighbors saw this, and fortunately the image was captured digitally on their ring phone, or on their doorbell, something like that. So I think if you go on the police website, you'll find that picture of that truck with a short bed, and maybe who has one like that needs to be checked out. I don't know. It's a shame when people are pointing weapons at children. This is just, yeah. There's no explanation for it. All right, thank you all for being here today. Good meeting. Motion to adjourn. Second.